Very much. Allow me first to congratulate the organizers and congratulate all of you for convening this Congress despite the bullying that was practiced against you all along, from the media, from the government, from the city of Vienna. The fact that you are here proves that the struggle for liberation will continue.
Bravo!
Now, Atiya, who introduced me, raised the issue of resistance. I think resistance within the context of Palestine has to deal with what the enemy wants to achieve in Palestine. If we all agree that the main goal of the Zionists is the ethnic cleansing of Palestine, this process that began with the creation or culminated with the creation of the State of Israel and the disposition of the Palestinian people and continuing until today, and it is unfolding in a very brutal way in Gaza, in the West Bank. So then resistance is all means to assist the Palestinian people to stay in their land. So resistance within the Palestinian context is how to find means to help and assist Palestinians to stay in their land and not to leave their land. This is, for me, the definition of resistance within the Palestinian conflict. Of course, all means of resistance are legitimate according to international law, including armed resistance. No question about this. The issue is, what means do we choose at each phase of our national struggle so that helps our people to stay in their land, to be able to resist in the land of Palestine, and to counter all attempts to the ethnic cleansing of Palestine. I think today there is no doubt at all that the goal of the Zionists, in cooperation and support with most of the Western community, above all the United States of America, is to dehumanize Palestinians and then let them leave their land. I think one of the achievements of the 7th of October, it showed that there is no rule-based international order. Everybody speaks about a rule-based international order, this order that emerged after the Second World War to prevent something horrible that happened in the Second World War to repeat itself, something horrible like the Holocaust as well, and to provide support for people who are weak and vulnerable. So today, when we see a genocide in Gaza, when we see what is happening in the West Bank, so far more than 700 people have been killed in the West Bank since the beginning of this year. We have more than 350 settlers who are armed, in addition, of course, to the Israeli army. Today we see a great aggression against Lebanon unfolding with thousands of people killed, hundreds of thousands displaced, infrastructure is being destroyed. So when we see all this, we know that there is no rule-based international order. There is power-based international order. And today, again, on the other hand, I would argue that we are in the middle of a process that will give birth to a new world order. Today, the global South looks at the global North not as part of the same family. The global North is still obsessed with racism, with white supremacy, and they see in Israel as an advanced post for Western colonialism in the Middle East. That's why that's why it is not surprising the reaction of most of the Western countries. Their silence, and we say the ones who are silent are complicit, but we are not seeing only silence. We're seeing active support to the genocide in terms of providing weapons, financial assistance, diplomatic and political backing. However, let me close by saying, however, we still need to use the instrument of international law. The fact that we went to the International Court of Justice asking for a consultative opinion about the occupation is a very important step in the fight against the colonial settler state of Israel. When the International Court of Justice, and nobody dares in the world, including the Americans, to say we do not respect the International Court of Justice, when it ruled that the Israeli occupation is illegal and has to end as quick as possible, that Israel is practicing apartheid, that Israel does not have the right of self-defense, even in the context of the 7th of October. Because Gaza, according to the International Court of Justice, is an occupied territory, and the laws of occupation apply to Gaza. So all these are extremely important instruments in our struggle for liberation. And when we look at the history, when we look at South Africa, and there are many of you who remember, of course, the main component to fight against apartheid were the South African people, under the leadership of the African National Congress, but also the international community and the international movement on the streets, like what is happening today. And I say today, when millions of people are taking to the streets, it is not only about Gaza. It is about a generation that is worried about its future. Today is Gaza, tomorrow might be another area in this world. And that's why don't stop talking about Gaza. Don't stop talking about Lebanon. Don't stop talking about the settler colonial occupation. And believe me, despite all these difficulties, we are confident and optimistic that ultimately we will prevail and Palestine will be free. Thank you very much.